Like, so, like I said, I like a lot of these red pill guy content creators, but it's not like the problem is they're for like sleeping around and like they're okay with it, but it doesn't make any sense to. It's like it's let me go have my fun, sleeping with these women, contributing to the crash of society. And maybe like the whole concept is like enjoy the decline. Okay, that makes sense. But like the whole red pill POA, sleeping around with women, the rebuild, like that whole idea needs to get the fuck out of here, because that contributed to the decline of our society, immaturity. Like, there's nothing wrong with, if you can, as a man, if you can provide, having multiple wives or whatever and taking care of them all. There ain't nothing wrong with that, as long as like you all are cool with it. And polygamy will be more prevalent going forward. So what's going to happen is, like, okay, I am not sure the extent of the financial crash. These people have been manipulating markets. Okay, I'm still trying to figure out, like, naked short selling, because TFM was talking about that. But I guess it's just like shorting stuff that doesn't even exist yet. For obviously financial benefits. The markets are being manipulated because of the government. Okay. I had a little bit of a debate with a communist on my Twitter yesterday. And he has some of the same concept as I have when it's like wage slavery or whatever. And I pointed out that you have options, dude. See, I agree with a lot of what these people say on the left when it comes to grievances for the elites. How we get screwed over because of inflation. And this is what businesses want. If you want if rich people and businesses love inflation, because you can raise prices, bank that money today, and you don't have to raise wages. And here's the thing too, is like sometimes inflation is only temporary. Obviously the inflation that we've endured is not temporary. But if you go out here and there's something wrong when you work a full-time job and you can't sustain yourself. You should be able to provide for yourself. But here's the thing. Is the other side of that is these worker spending habits. Okay. So like a low-skilled job, like a fast food job, or possibly like my job. It doesn't take a lot of brain power to do my job. It takes a lot of physical endurance and strength to do my job. So it doesn't provide a lot of skills. So the pay isn't the highest. Unfortunately, where I work, I don't want to talk too much about it because I don't want to like bash where I work. It's not. They're running a business and they care about keeping the business afloat, number one. But the problem is, like, stores raise prices and then wages. Sometimes it might take a couple years because, like, if you're in a union and a contract, you're in a contract, they don't have to break that contract. So they can raise prices, keep on the low salary or low fucking wages, like before all this inflation, and keep you working. And in order to sustain your current life, which you've, like before all that inflation, you would live a decent life. Like, you wouldn't have to work a bunch of overtime or go into massive debt to pay for basic items. But now you do. And they don't want to raise wages because you're on the old contract. So you're basically like the union members for Ford or whatever. Well, it's a compounded problem because, like, as soon as they raise the wages of these people, that means they're gonna raise the prices even more on the vehicles. I guess it's just like I just don't understand, like on the right, I guess it's just me as a person. I just don't understand the whole point of hoarding all that money. But I do understand where the elites come from when it comes to poor people not making wise decisions with money. They pretty much need to have their hands held. Us, we need to have our hands held. Like me, okay. Look at me. Have I enjoyed luxuries? And this is something that a lot of Americans don't understand, because they live in a fucking bubble. We have it good. And I try to tell that guy, I was like, listen, man, we have it way better than kings had it 100, 200 years ago. Like, oh, how do we have it? And I started listing off, like, dude, education, medical, electricity, running water. I just went off, so on, etc., you know. And a lot of Americans don't appreciate these luxuries, which most of the world is dirt poor and they would love to live an American lifestyle. So Americans really don't know how good they have it. In the same aspect, we are getting taken advantage of because of the government. The funny thing about these communists, here's something that I've thought of, and I don't hear no one really talking about. When you work for like a corporation, and a lot of these people are like, I feel like I don't have a purpose. I don't feel like I'm just going to pay my bills. Like, I've said that myself. You know, there needs to be some type of reform, some type of change. We need to stop monopolizing currency here in America. We need to have lots of different currencies. So when you work for a corporation, it feels like it's soul sucking. Like, you know, like, it's so huge that, like, what you're doing on the big stage doesn't really fucking matter. And that's what a lot of people feel like. It doesn't really fucking matter if I'm even here. Well, guess what? That's how communism fucking feels. I've never been in communism, but I can understand, like, working for a big, huge corporation, which would be the state, which you, unless it's like all the countries coming together and then creating a one world government, But like, if you just work for the government, and we all work for the government, and we all make the same amount, and it doesn't matter how hard you work, it doesn't matter what you've innovated, you make the same amount, except for the elites. The elites always, in communism, always live better than the fucking peasants. And these people are so dumb that they keep on advocating for communism. Now I can take them, I can say, listen, I share your grievances, but your solving of the problem is fucking lazy, it's dumb, ignorant, and communism is inhumane. When I read the Communist Manifesto, or listened to it, and they say that women are a means of production, that means they're supposed to have babies, and that's all. Like, there's basically, what it sounds like is there's no, like, family, because the state owns your fucking kids, man. There's a thing called human connection, care, love, like, as a human, we have to there's no end to this until we're dead. We're always, like, moving forward. There's no fucking finish line. You might have little finish lines, like little fucking goals you set or whatever, or big fucking goals. You know, okay, you win the Super Bowl, okay. And then now it's like, okay, I want to win 2 Super Bowls. I want to win the Super Bowl next year. Like, there's no end to the journey until you're fucking finally just done. But even if, like, it's like, so let's just say the superstar retires after he wins, like, you know, like a Michael Jordan. Well, what's he go on to next? He's not just gonna sit there on a fucking yacht for the rest of his life. Her life, his life, whoever. We always want to keep doing something, because we can't just sit there and then that's it. And a lot of these people on the left, they just don't want to work, and they don't understand that, like, when you bring in socialism at this point, like, we're basically like we're a little bit more than a socialist country. I'd say we're about 45% socialist, 60% capitalist at this point. So we're a mixed economy. We're not even a full capitalist. Plus we got, like, monopolies and fucking shit. Okay. You know, like, I like this question, like, the average CEO makes 400 times more than the average worker. So, like, how do we stop this? Why aren't people, like, doing something about it? Well, what can they do? What can people do? Well, on a large scale, people can start boycotting corporations and go towards the competitor. Might be a smaller company. And most people are fucking lazy. Like, I'm not gonna do it. Why? I'm a hypocrite. Yep. What the fuck is it? Just me gonna do it? Like, I'm gonna go through all that work, and that's the same mindset as all people. So you need the whole group to follow through to boycott all these major corporations. And you might have to spend more money, whether it's food or going to the competitor. But that's a sacrifice that you make in the short term for the long term. Have a more stable environment. And that'll show the CEOs, like, we're not putting up with this shit. You shouldn't be making so much money. You're too out of touch with reality. But, like, that's not gonna happen. That's unrealistic. That's about as realistic as balancing the fucking American budget. It's not gonna happen. Damn, this ground is so slippery. So, like, I mean, that's how you combat it, but you have to get everyone on board. Not everyone, but like a big majority of the population on board to boycott these corporations and go towards the more small businesses. The businesses that will grow. And then maybe they turn into corporations, and then like someone else will come up, and then you start supporting them. That's the whole. There's no choice when it comes to communism or socialism. Because when they do communism and socialism, and they start doing like price controls, if you grow fucking beets, right? Let's just say you grow beets, and you make a profit, because you're not going to work for free, right? You're not going to put all that hard work and labor. I've heard of people working like 30 hours straight in the farm, or like 19 hours, like when the harvest comes in. Like, these guys bust their fucking ass. Well, you're not going to do that for nothing, right? And then you're definitely not going to do it if you take a loss. So like price controls, so they'll say, well, you can only sell beets for this much. It's like, okay, then I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to make it anymore because I'm not making any money. And in fact, I'm losing money. So why am I going to keep making beets? So beets are gone. And then, like, on the bigger scale, all the beet farmers are doing the same thing. Like, I'm not going to supply you if I'm going to take, shit. I can't pay my bills, man. I can't break even. I have to pay my bills. I got bills to pay. I can't do operation. I can't keep operating if I can't pay my bills. Much like running a household. You gotta pay your bills or you won't have a fucking house. You won't have electricity. But so what does that do? That shrinks, what is that word? It shrinks supply. So you have less of a choice of vegetables now. Well, because they're not just going to do that with beets, they'll do it across the board with a lot of different things. For the short term, it will help the economy. Yes, the short-term thinking, it will help. But long-term thinking is what these people, they don't think at all. They just think about right now. They don't think about the long-term effects of anything. You know, like I said, beets will go away. Oh, yay, okay, beets are at a stable price. I can buy them now, yay. How come there's no more beets? Well, you know, somebody's gotta, we got bills to pay, man. Like, people aren't gonna work for free. And then that's what a lot of these people just, I think that it's so crazy that there's a lot of people out here that think that food just appears on store shelves. Like, it doesn't take hard work, people's time to produce things. So there is a problem, you know, with corporations outsourcing jobs out overseas for cheap labor and then fucking selling it to Americans. That's a fucking problem. And I think those people should be taxed heavily. Well, is the government doing that? No, they're not breaking up monopolies. They're not fucking taxing these American companies who ship jobs overseas to fuck over American workers because they want to pay lower wages because they're fucking cheap, or they want to take a shortcut. It's not like I can outsource my electricity to a different country. You know, it must be nice to be able to do that. But yeah, the government is corrupt, and they won't stop spending money. And you know, they voted to spend our kids' money. What's going to happen? This is why I say euthanasia is going to be prevalent in the next 10 years. In the next 10 years here in America, it's going to be prevalent. Trust me. Euthanasia is going to be prevalent because the youth, they're going to be like, okay, Social Security runs out. Why? Okay, well, at least they're not taking out for that now, I would assume. But they're definitely going to be taking out for other things because we're still going to have to take care of people. who are older, disabled, and kids. So they're going to tax the shit out of people. And they're going to still try to keep welfare. That's not going to jive with people. And people are going to be like, if you're on the fucking government and you can't get off the government, then you're going to get euthanized. And if you're going to be on the streets, sleeping on the streets, you're going to get euthanized. That's going to be the mindset. I'm sure they'll give you a chance to get your shit together, but you're not just going to sit here, not work, and then take other people's resources when you can contribute yourself and you refuse not to because you don't want to work. Then you're going to be euthanized. And it's going to get like that. And I don't hear anybody talking about that shit. And it will be prevalent. And people will want it. Hell, I might be one of the people that are like, yeah, let's get this thing going. It's not that I want people to die. It's just like, dude, you're a fucking drug addict, man. What are you doing with yourself? I don't want to get off of drugs. I just want to sit on the street. No, you're done. You're done. We can exile you from society. And that's what these people need to be exiled from society. And they need to be shipped somewhere off on their own and stop giving help. And then they can wake up to reality. And I'm not saying like another city. Just a barren place. They can fucking figure it out. And if they all die, they all die. What the fuck are you supposed to do? Is that inhumane? Well, you're a detriment to society. You're not doing anything for society. You're taking. You're just taking and taking and taking. And that's what a lot of these people on the left, I don't agree with them at all because they just don't want to work. Because I said, listen, why don't you just go live in Alaska? Because he's like, oh yeah, every place makes you pay taxes. Well, I say for property, I say, yeah. So you really don't own what you have, but there's places you can go. You go to different countries. You can go get lost in the woods somewhere, and nobody ever fucking goes. They're not gonna, oh, the police, like, they're not gonna care. Like, you go up to some of these desolate places in Alaska, no one's ever gonna find you again. But they don't want to work because that takes a lot of work. Or they want to keep having the same lifestyle, but they want people to pay for it. And that's the big problem.